Well, I guess we're doing this thing. Hey guys, I'm Justin and welcome back to the channel for the second ever video. I just wanted to take a quick pause and give a huge shout out to all the people who supported me for my first video, all of the love, all of the support. Everybody came through and it just made it such a success. I spent all of Monday sitting on my phone hitting refresh, watching the like count, the subscriber count, all of the comments rolling in. I genuinely don't think I could have asked for a better start to the channel, so thank you so much. If you aren't one of the people who's already subscribed, I hate you. Just kidding. I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to follow along on this journey. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So, a millionaire. I think most of us would love to be able to call ourselves a millionaire one day. There's just something really nice and aesthetically pleasing about a one followed by that many zeros. And aside from that, being a millionaire would open yourself up to so many life opportunities. Travel, food, fun toys, all things that you think about when you imagine having that much money in your account. You probably know a millionaire, maybe even a couple, whether you realize it or not. While most of us envision these high rollers driving super sports cars or living in mega mansions, many everyday people are actually able to achieve this feat. In fact, a recent study found that the 5 most common professions for current day millionaires are engineering, accounting, teaching, management, and practicing law. Now, 4 out of 5 of those jobs you probably expected to hear, but I'm guessing that when I said millionaire, you didn't think teacher. It just goes to show that there are plenty of everyday millionaires already out there and that can still be achieved today. That brings me to the whole point of today's video, which is how I plan to ascend to the upper echelon of wealth and how you can follow the same steps to get there too. All right, are you ready? Well, quite simply, one day I'll be a millionaire because
my father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
I'm kidding, but I would not be upset, Dad. My actual plan to create wealth and become a millionaire is through long-term investing and the power of the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest. Now, this is a pretty basic financial concept and one that a lot of you might be familiar with, but it's just such an incredibly critical topic that there's no way I'm starting a personal finance channel without covering this first. Like I said earlier, most people think of millionaires as high income earners or trust fund babies, but I promise you that there's a much easier and more mathematically proven way to get there that involves little to no luck or skill. And to prove to you that long-term investing will make me a millionaire and show you how you can get there too, I'm going to show you a tool that completely changed the way that I look at money. Okay, so here we are on a compound interest calculator. This one happens to be on NerdWallet, but there are a million of these out there, and the math should be more or less the same on all of them. This one is very simple. A lot of them will factor in inflation and contribution increases, which are great things to know, but today I want to keep this as easy as possible. Now, a compound interest calculator is a really awesome visual because it allows you to see how money grows over time when it's invested. So, you're going to see a couple things that we have to enter here, and the first of those is going to be initial deposit. Very simple, that's the amount of money that we're going to be starting out with. Maybe you only have $100, maybe you have $10,000, but for the sake of picking a starting point that's probably achievable for most people, we're going to say that we're starting with $500. Well, congratulations. In this hypothetical example, we now have $500. Not quite millionaires yet, but we're $500 closer, which is a good start. Now, we have a couple more things to fill in here. First, you see contributions, which is how much we're going to continue to add ourselves, and investment time span, which is how long we're going to keep this money invested. Up here, I like to select monthly contributions. Most of us get paid at least once a month, so that makes it easy for us to be able to set that money aside on a monthly basis. Again, you might be in a position where you can only set aside $100 each month, which is still great, or you could be saving 10 grand, but for the sake of this example, we'll go with 500. And you'll see down here, Investment time span is already set at 45 years. So if you're a savvy 20-year-old already thinking about retirement and 65 is the age you're aiming for, well, we're good to go. By changing those numbers, you probably noticed that our graph has also changed. What this shows is that our 20-year-old, who started with $500 and continued to save $500 a month, at the ripe old age of 65, will have $270,500. Now, that's an impressive number, but we didn't stick around to this point in the video to be impressive. We want to be millionaires. And the reason that we aren't millionaires at this point is because we didn't accrue any interest. This right here is the equivalent of keeping your money in a checking account. Now, you may say, come on, Justin, I'm not dumb. I do not keep all my money in a checking account. I keep my money in a savings account. Well, I did not create this channel to be the bearer of bad news, but unless you have a really awesome high-yield savings account, I can almost guarantee that you're making less than 0.5% on the money in that account. So, the positive here is that you're not making zero. When we put 0.5% return in, you go from having $270,500 to a little over $303,000. And you start to see the difference here between the principal in blue and the interest in green. The principal being the money that you contributed and the interest being the money that's grown from that account over time. Again, this is good. This is better than nothing, not saving at all or keeping your money in a checking account. But what I'm about to show you now will blow this number away. So when I say long-term investing, I'm primarily talking about investing in mutual funds, index funds, anything that tracks the stock market as a whole or a large portion of the market. This is the most proven, least risky way to get some skin in the game when it comes to stocks. If we look at the S&P 500, which simply tracks the 500 largest companies in the United States, we'll see that the historical return over the past 30 years averages above 10% per year. Now, this is my first opportunity, probably of many, to tell you that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not telling you to invest in the S&P 500 or anything else. I am a random dude on the internet. Do not take financial advice from random dudes on the internet. All right, so with that disclaimer out of the way, let's see what happens when we get a 10% return on our money. Well, it looks like we haven't become millionaires in this example. We've become multimillionaires. You can see here, we contributed the exact same amount, $270,500, just like before. But instead of letting our money sit, we put it to work. And because of the power of compounding, every year that 10% increase was an increase on a larger and larger number. And while it started off slow, the snowball effect took place, and you can see how fast it grew in those last years. Maybe you say, you know, Justin, I know that you're showing historical data. I just don't believe that 10% can continue to be the norm. Okay, maybe we move the interest down to 7%. Still a millionaire. Maybe you believe in a 10% return, but you're 30, which means you only have 35 years until you're 65. Still a millionaire. Maybe you're a 15-year-old watching this video and you're already so ambitious that you plan to retire at the age of 45. With 30 years, you're still a millionaire. So it's not difficult to see how I plan to do it, and I honestly believe that most anybody else can do it too. Regardless of your age, most of us are still in position where the seeds that we plant now will grow into enormous millionaire trees. Sure. If you came to find out how I plan to become a millionaire next month or next year, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm just a firm believer that anybody can build long-term, substantial wealth simply by trusting the process. All it takes is time, patience, consistency, and belief in a proven method. With all of that said, I genuinely appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, let your friends know about the awesome things we're doing over here, and be on the lookout for Friday's video because as always, or for the third time so far, it's a banger. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.